Hello and welcome, friends of Flyff. In this video, we will have a look at the leveling experience of the game. We are going to see what different ways of leveling up your character there are and what class is capable of what. I won't get into too much detail since I am planning on doing a video for each class separately, so if you don't want to miss that, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I will also be doing a lot of streams on Twitch in the future, so follow me there as well. Again, all of the information in this video is summarized, so if you want to have more detailed information, you should check out the official website and Discord. Leveling is a huge aspect of Flyff. Despite the fact that there are a lot of quests in the game, most players choose to grind their way to the top. Before we start, you need to understand what leveling means first. Leveling describes the killing of monsters to gain experience for your character. Each level requires 100% to reach the next one. You can level up in a group of maximum of 8 people where you have to fulfill your chosen role. You get to choose between one-on-one single target DPS, area of effect damage hitting multiple targets, or supporting role hooking your group up with powerful buffs and heals. The role of one-on-one players can be split into two categories. There is one-on-one focusing on auto attacks, which doesn't mean that your character is fighting by itself without you having to do anything, but to rely on your normal hits instead of skills. Auto attack classes are very easy to handle since all you're doing is double click the enemy and wait for your character to finish the job, but they are quite gear dependent and show their full potential later in the game when you're able to wear the high level gear. Auto attacks have the chance to miss or get parried by the enemy, but also have a chance to crit to deal way more damage. There also is the opportunity to use skills to kill enemies one-on-one to have a steady damage output and awesome effects. Using skills is not as comfortable as using auto attacks, but they are not as gear dependent, don't have a chance of missing or getting parried, but of course they don't have a chance to crit too. Skills cost either MP or FP, so you need to bring potions into battle to be able to cast them continuously. Just like the role of one-on-one, the role of AoE can also be split up into two categories. You have the classic way of doing AoE while tanking a bunch of enemies and killing them while withstanding their attacks. AoE tanking classes are more comfortable to play with since they are very durable and don't die that easy. They deal less damage and need a healer in most cases, but they can tank giants or other bosses in the future, so they are very important to the game. The other category is the hit and run AoE, where you, as the name suggests, try not to get hit by the enemy whatsoever. You focus on dealing damage with your skills to kill the monsters from a safe distance while running every once in a while. Hit and run classes are not as durable and therefore less comfortable to play with. However, they deal way more damage and can also be a single target damage dealer in a group due to their build. Note that not every AoE class is capable of doing hit and run. Now let's have a look on what classes are capable of what roles. The Knight and the Bill Poster are both capable of doing one-on-one using skills, auto attack one-on-one, and tank AoE focusing on stamina to boost their health and defense. The Ranger and the Blade are both capable of doing one-on-one using skills, auto attack one-on-one, and tank AoE focusing on dex to boost their damage and block rate to dodge their opponent's attacks. The Ranger whatsoever can, just like the Elementor who is also able to do skill based one-on-one and tank AoE, do hit and run due to their skill set that allows them to run and attack a lot of enemies without the fear of being hit. The Psykeeper is able to do one-on-one using skills and tank AoE relying on stamina to withstand a lot of enemies. I wouldn't say that the Psykeeper is a good hit and run AoE class. You might have the possibility to hit enemies from afar while keeping the distance, but is just not as good and safe as the Elementor, for instance. The Jester is the only class in game without an AoE skill and therefore can only do one-on-one using skills or auto attacks. The Ringmaster is the only class in game who's able to fulfill the role of a support. He's equipped with powerful buffs and single target and group healing abilities and even debuffs to boost their companions' damage on a target. He is also able to do tank AoE and unlike the Psykeeper can do hit and run. Not as good as the Ranger or the Elementor, but still good enough that I would recommend to try it out. We reached the end of this video, and if you made it that far, I hope you learned a thing or two and maybe leave a comment on your thoughts about the classes and the different roles. I hope you liked the video and stay tuned for more Flyff related content in the future. I hope to see you all in Madrigal when the game finally releases.